to interpolate is Congressman Rog Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, few questions lang po. I'd like to direct my first questions to Mr. Benaventura. Good evening po, sir. Mr. Benaventura, through the Honorable Chairman, of course, matanong lang po, no? Nabanggit po ninyo na kayo ay personal bodyguard driver po ni dating Mayor
Yes,
Duterte, tama po?
yes, Your Honor.
And yung active years nyo po ay from 1988 to 2008.
Yes, Your
Po
Honor.
ba? Nung kayo po ay personal driver bodyguard, ito po ay nung kayo po ay driver bodyguard, kayo po ay personal lang po kay Mayor Duterte or assigned po sa family niya?
Kay Mayor Duterte po.
Kay Mayor Duterte lang po. At nung panahon na po ito, generally, nag-iisa ka lang po or may team po kayo?
Yung other security po.
Yung other security. At any one time po, mga ilan po kayong security ni Mayor Duterte?
Apat.
Mga apat po. And
Yes,
but in all those instances, ikaw po yung personal, yung sa kotse niya mismo.
Ako nag-drive sa kanya. Your
Palagi po yun. Wala
Yes.
wala kang ka-switch.
Honor. Wala, Your Honor.
May kabady po kayo sa kotse na yun.
Kami ng dalawa, Your Honor.
Kayong dalawa lang po. So yung tatlo or more,
Backup,
backup
Your
lang po.
Honor.
So talagang kayo po yung katiwala ni Mayor Duterte.
Yes, Your Honor.
Nabanggit po yung sa family, hindi po kayo nag-drive sa mga anak?
Hindi po, Your Honor.
Never po. From 1988 to 2008, tama po ba merong, may time po, period po dito na si Mayor Duterte ay isang congressman?
Konya, Your Honor. 1999 to 2001.
Tama po, no? Parang
Yes, Your
ganun.
Honor.
At that time po, naka-assign pa rin po kayo kay Mayor Duterte?
Sa Davao lang po ako, Your Honor. Magpunta siya sa Manila, maiwan lang ako sa Davao.
Okay, pero assign po kayo sa local?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, unbroken naman po yung until 2008?
Yes, Your Honor.
At nabanggit po ninyo, 2008 onwards, hindi na po kayo na-assign kay Mayor Duterte? At 2009 onwards?
Yeah, 2001, Your Honor.
Sorry po. Yung
2009 onwards, wala.
2009 po, retired na po kayo?
2008, December 31, 2008, Your Honor.
December 2008, retired na po kayo. So 2009 onwards, private citizen na lang po kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pero saan po kayo nagtrabaho at that time?
Diyan, nagkuha lang ako dyan sa City Hall, Your Honor. Diyan sa office.
So sa City Hall po kayo nagtrabaho?
Yes, Your Honor.
So government employee po kayo at the
Yes,
time?
Your Honor.
At sino po yung mayor at the time?
Means si Mayor Sara.
This was 2009.
Maging si Mayor, Your Honor. Palit-palit sila.
Palit po.
Mayor Sara, Mayor Rudy.
Ano po yung trabaho po ninyo sa City Hall?
Security officer po, Your Honor.
So in line pa rin po sa iyong profession po as PNP.
Oh, yan
Usual
lang.
na nangyayari, pag nag-retire as PNP, security pa rin po, no? So naging citizen security po kayo ng City Hall. But
Yes,
still
Your
serving the same administration kay Mayor Duterte pa rin
Yes,
po.
Your Honor.
Pero naabutan mo rin po yung yung pag-switch po sa mga anak.
Yes, Your Honor.
Until what year po kayo naging civilian security po sa Davao City Hall?
2021, Your Honor.
Napaka-recent po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sorry, hindi po familiar po, no? When you retired noong 2008, ano po yung edad po nyo at the time?
52, Your Honor. Early retirement, Your Honor.
Early retirement po. Yung usual is 55, 56 po ba?
56, Your Honor.
56. So early retirement at 52. And from 2008, 2018 would be 62. Mga 64 na po kayo when you were disconnected from the City Hall. Tama po ba?
65, Your Honor.
65, mandatory retirement.
Yes, Your Honor.
So all throughout pala po, it gave the impression po that you were no longer employed by Mayor Duterte noong 2008. Pero 2009 onwards, technically, boss nyo pa rin po.
So,
As civil
as
security
Mayor,
City Hall.
as Mayor. City Hall po.
Opo. During that time po ba, kayo ay na-assign as bodyguard driver ni Mayor Duterte?
Wala na po.
Wala na po. So talagang sa City Hall na
Sa
lang po kayo.
opisina po.
Okay. Balik na lang po ako sa iyo, Mr. Benaventura po, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to direct some of my questions to the Honorable former Congressman, former Senator de Lima, if you would please indulge us. Former Senator, may we ask po, earlier you gave us a presentation, a more expanded presentation of your previous submission po. Would it be okay if we ask that you just flash the slide again in relation to the structure of the DDS based on your investigation? If it's ready, but if not, then I could just go
It can
off
be
narration.
ready. It
Can
can
be
be
ready.
ready.
If the Secretariat would please assist us, through the Honorable Chairman. Mr. Chair, while that is being prepared, perhaps I just have some preliminary questions leading up to it. And we've gotten the background when we understand, of course, that during your stint as the CHA chairperson, that you had an investigation into this. It was cut short when you were appointed as DOJ secretary, but the resolution did come afterwards. May we ask, during this time, the presentation that you presented earlier regarding the structure of the Davao Death Squad, this was based on the CHR investigation or with further pieces from DOJ?
You're asking about the diagram
Yes,
of the
diagram with the
organizational
structure, yes.
structure of the DDS. These are from Arturo Lascaña's affidavit also. These were attached.
That's
These
kind
were
of
attached to the ICC affidavit.
And this was presented at the time of the investigation of the CHR?
No,
Not yet.
just very raw information about the existence of the DDS, but not actually the structure, the organizational structure. Because if you notice from those attachments, yung 3 periods nga po ang kinover from 1989 to 1998, 1998 to 2001, and 2001 to 2016. So mas detalyado po ito, more names coming out, but this is based on Lascaña's affidavit. These were attached. Siya po ang nag-prepare nitong mga attachments na to. First in handwriting, then it was converted into something printed or typed.
Thank you. Former Senator, the Lascañas affidavit came out in what year?
2020. He attested to that he signed it in October 8, 2020.
2020.
And then almost a month later, nandun na po siya sa ICC, he was granted limited immunity. On the
Right.
basis, because he submitted this on the same day that he signed it. That was October 8, 2022.
Thank you. Former Senator, when the Lascañas affidavit was completed, you mentioned that prior to that, you had raw data that would already confirm some of the facts that Mr. Lascañas laid out in his affidavit.
Yes, some. From the 3 witnesses, the 3 who claimed to be members also of the DDS, but they didn't want to appear. Just some limited information about the DDS. All these 3 confirmed that there is a DDS. So, and then they narrated some of their experiences. But then again, as I said, ayaw po nilang lumantad at that time. Hindi ko nga po alam kung nasaan na sila ngayon, the 3 of them,
Thank
who
you.
used aliases.
Thank you, former Senator. Just a follow-up question on that. So prior to the Lascañas affidavit, you've already had an idea during the CHR investigation through these 3 witnesses who provided some raw data. Did they provide names that were confirmed in the Lascañas affidavit? Or it was just some general facts regarding the DDS?
It's just general facts, as I recall it, with respect to those 3 witnesses, the aliases.
So in the case of the resource person present today who has been alluded to in the Lascañas affidavit, Mr. Benaventura, the first
Several
time...
times.
Oh,
He
several
was alluded
times?
to several times. In fact, in his chart, in the organizational chart, for all 3 periods, in 1989 to 1998, he was the chief security. And he did admit that he was the chief security. Now, in the second period, 1998 to 2001, According to Las Cañas, he became the de facto leader. SPO4, dun po sa chart, dun po sa organizational chart. SPO4, Sonny Benaventura, now our de facto leader. Yun ang pagkaka-describe dito sa organizational chart as prepared by Las Cañas. Doon naman sa period of 2001 to 2016, he is referred to here as the logistic financer death clearance officer. And the whole affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas, several times he would say that the order to kill several times was coursed through Sonny Benaventura.
Thank you. Of note is that the third art chart that they presented is for the period of 2001 to 2016. So this is the transitory period from which 2001 to 2008, still in service si Mr. Benaventura, and 2009 to 2016 as civil security.
2001 to 2016.
Yes.
Yung sa umpisa po yun, yung pagiging chief security ni Mayor RRD, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, in 1989 to 1998.
So it spans throughout his whole career. Former Senator, just one more question. Regarding the three witnesses, did they at
Yes.
any time identify Mr. Benaventura? The three witnesses from the CHR investigation.
I don't remember,
So
Your
it's
Honor.
mostly the Las Cañas affidavit.
Las Cañas and Matubato.
Oh, and
But I
Matubato.
can check my personal investigation notes. And maybe next time, if it's there, I will inform the honorable body.
Thank you, former Senator. That would be much appreciated. I will have some further questions later on, but I'd like to go back to Mr. Benaventura. So nabanggit na po ni former Senator de Lima yung instances in which nabanggit po kayo ni Mr. Las Cañas. Pero nabanggit din po ninyo na baka posibleng may galit po sa inyo si Mr. Las Cañas, kaya naibanggit ko po kayo multiple times. However, it can't be denied po kasi na mukhang maraming persons po ang nagtuturo po sa inyo. We have po yung affidavit ni Ms. Garma. We have the affidavit of Mr. Las Cañas. We have based, of course, we're still to determine the three CHR witnesses. But we'll see po kung how far that goes. Pero nabanggit po ninyo, yung relationship po ninyo kay Mr. Las Cañas. Working relationship po ito, no? Dahil kayo ay kapwa policeman. Tama po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Opo. And this was up and sino pong unang nag-retire?
Ako po, RD.
Early retirement po kayo. So at the time, in service pa rin po si Mr. Las Cañas.
Yes, Your Honor.
At what year po yung sinabi po ninyo na feeling nyo masama yung balak ni Mr. Las Cañas? Tama po ba? Ano po yung sinasabi niyo, sir, na parang iba si Mr. Las Cañas?
No.
Na may hinihinging smuggling?
Ayun, yun,
may,
yun.
Opo, mga anong taon po yun?
Yung nag-investigate yung Senado, Your Honor, tungkol sa rice smuggling, yon, Your Honor. At saka yung nanalo na si PRRD as president, yon, Your Honor. 2016.
Okay.
Yung sa Senado, hindi ko nakuha yung date, Your Honor.
Okay po. Thank you, please. Mr. Chairman, please, I'd like to go back to former Senator de Lima. Apologies if you'd indulge us with a few more. I just remembered, you also had a presentation on the alleged quarry sites, and I believe you mentioned there were 3 or 4?
Yes, about 4, Your Honors.
And they would be attached to personalities involved with the DDS. Of course, we have one Mr. Laud, which was related to the Laud quarry. We also have a certain caretaker in Samal. May we have a rundown of these 4 figures po?
Okay, I'm tracing it, Your Honor.
Thank you very much.
DGS. Yes, the DDS has at least 4 named dumping grounds. The largest is the Laud Gold Cup firing range quarry in Barangay Maa under SPO4 Bienvenido Laod. Another is only known as the Gaisano property, guarded by June Casas, alias Commander Toothpick, which allegedly contains around 200 bodies. The third is the Mandog mass grave, under SPO3 Jim Tan. The fourth are the waters around Samal Island with Ecoland Times Beach and the Igacos Resort of Samal Mayor Roger Antalan as jump-off points. Matubato was the caretaker of Mayor Antalan's resort.
Thank you, former
So, nag-testify ho si Mr. Matubato, then nagtatapon din sila doon ng mga bangkay.
So of the four mentioned personalities, we have SPO4 Laod and SPO3 Tan, who are presumably police personnel. Matobato, who has been confirmed to be from the CAFGU.
Yes.
Do we have information on Mr. June Casas, what his affiliations are?
None, Your Honors, but I can check again my personal investigation notes.
That is sufficient. Thank you very much, former Senator.
Thank
Balik
you
lang po, Mr. Chairman, kay Mr. Benaventura. So nabanggit po yung apat. Familiar po yung names po ba na to? Si SPO4 Laod, na banggit po ninyo, kaibigan po ninyo, no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Si June Casas,
Hindi ko kilala
di
yun.
familiar. Si SPO3 Tan,
Yes, Your Honor.
and si Mr. Matobato. Of course, nabanggit nyo yung
Yes,
45.
Your Honor.
So, si Mr. Matobato, na nabanggit po ninyo, hindi nyo kasamahan, pero security daw ng isang mayor sa...
Antalan po.
Mayor Antalan. Pero familiar po ba, was there any time na yung grupo po ninyo ay pumunta sa Samal, yung sinabi pong Samal Ecoland area? na Damay?
Doon lang sa Samal yun. Minsan magpunta lang kami. Mayroon kaming kunting lugar doon. May bahay. Ganun.
May taga-Samal po ba?
Diyan lang.
Meron lang po.
So,
Okay.
minsan po, magpunta doon, mag-relax.
Okay. Yung Laod Quarry, nabanggit, pupunta po kayo para mag-firing.
Wala na po.
Pero dati po yun, no?
Dati po yun.
Dati, okay. Yung sa Gaisano property ni Mr. June Casas, hindi po ito familiar sa inyo?
Hindi po.
At yung Mandug property under SPO Tran,
Hindi po.
SPO 3 Tan,
Hindi po.
Hindi po kayo nakapunta. Ano po kaya yung binabanggit ni former Senator na Mandug property? Pagmamayari daw po ni SPO 3 Tan.
Matagal na po yun na binabanggit. Matagal na po yun. Wala man din silang findings. Wala, hindi nila alam kung hindi nila napuntahan yung lugar. Wala, according to Las Cañas, Matubato, wala. Nandyan man yan, kung mayroon yan, nandyan yan, Your Honor. Kung mayroon yan, nandyan yan.
Okay. So out of the four, yung dalawa lang po ma-confirm na alam po ninyo. Yung Laod and yung sa Samal.
Sa Samal, wala po.
Nabanggit po ninyo
Hindi,
namamasyal
sa Samal, may bahay ako. May bahay lang ako doon. Hindi yung sabi ni Matubato, Your Honor. Hindi.
Sige po.
Isa pa rin yun, hindi, Your Honor.
Mr. Benaventura, additional questions lang po. Nabanggit po ninyo na as personal driver, bodyguard po ni Mayor Duterte. I'm sure kasama po kayo most of the time, kahit sa mga meetings. Although minsan, I would understand na hindi po kayo sinasama. But generally, kapag may ka-meeting, alam po ninyo yun, no?
Your Honor, doon lang ako sa secure ko yung sasakyan, ganun. Hindi na ako sumali
Hindi
doon.
naman sumasali sa mga ganun. Well, yung sinasabi, pero napanood po ninyo, Mr. Benaventura, yung Senate hearing. Nabanggit po ninyo, na napanood po ninyo.
Yes, Your
Kung
Honor.
saan may mga binanggit si former President Duterte.
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you confirm po may instance na alala na sinabi ni former Duterte na shoot them dead? Patayin ang mga kriminal?
Nandun man yun sa kwan, Your Honor.
Opo. So, pero kayo po, familiar po kayo. Ito ba'y statement na palagi niya pong sinasabi?
Hindi naman, Your Honor.
Hindi naman po. Pero anong tingin po ninyo sa statement ito? Parang pangampanya lang po ba ito? Or
Kasi minsan magsabi man yan si then Mayor Duterte na walang maniwala sa'yo. Pagsabihan mo na, oy, maganyan man yan siya. Siyempre,
I see.
kailangan daw na mayroong kuwan para maniwala sila, medyo distansya sila o maginto sila.
so talagang
Parang-
sinasabi niya yun. Hindi lang siniseryoso. Medyo
Yes, sir.
pangdiin lang.
Parang gano'n lang yun. Parang kailangan may laman. Parang may
Pero-
kuman ba? May kuman.
Ganun po ba yung my command since 1988? Ganun na po ba yung kanyang personality?
Since naging mayor siya, Your Honor,
Since
yes.
being mayor. So ever since nung nakasama po kayo as personal driver bodyguard, since mayor, ganun na po talaga yung personality niya.
Yes,
Ganun
Your
po siya magsalita.
Para sa mga kriminal, Your Honor.
Yung inamin niya po sa Senate na sinabing he would encourage yung mga criminal to fight back para pwede patayin ng polis.
Doon-
Kailan niyo po narinig yung ganun?
Doon man lang yun, Your Honor.
doon lang sa Senate hearing. Hindi niyo po ito narinig dati na
Hindi.
sinasabi sa mga meeting kung kasama mga
Wala,
police,
Your Honor.
kasama mga ano, wala po. Yung sinabi niya naman po na may DDS talaga at tinuro niya po kung sino man ang Davao COP, kasama yan sa DDS. Tinuro niya pa nga po yung ibang mga chief of
doon.
police po nandun.
Narinig
Doon niyo
ko
rin
lang po
narinig.
doon, Your Honor.
So yung ganun na statement na yung Davao City Police ay DDS, hindi niyo po narinig dati pa?
Ay, hindi naman, Your Honor. Pag magkuhan kami, wala man siya sinasabi na ganyan.
Paano po yung nabanggit mong narinig na yung media, tinatawag po kayong DDS, kayong Davao City Police?
Siyempre, balita man niya, Your Honor. Ang media man nagawa ng DDS.
Kailan po nagsimula nung term na yon?
Hindi ko na maalala, Your Honor.
Hindi mo maalala. At yung isa pang statement po ni former President Duterte na meron siyang personal na DDS squad. Never po narinig. At yung nabanggit niyang 7 na persons that he refused to name.
Sorry po.
May nabanggit po siya na 7 na tao na supposedly part of the DDS, pero after further questioning, sabi niya, di na niya po maalala. Wala po kayong kinalaman.
Wala.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I would just like to direct my questions again. Thank you, Mr. Benaventura, to the former Senator. Apologies, another. Former Senator de Lima, you seem to be very familiar with the Las Cañas affidavit.
Yes.
And we've already established from the previous hearing that you've already presented that there seemed to be a two-pronged approach with the Davao template. First and foremost, there were the legitimate, supposedly on paper, police and state operations. This would be drug bust, buy bust, arrests, which would go south because of the nanlaban. And you mentioned that the nanlaban system originated
From the
in Davao.
GDS.
And of
Yes.
course, the second stage would be that of the extrajudicial killings, vigilante killings, either through Sinaloa-style executions, riding in tandem that have not been identified, at least have not been identified with the Davao City Police. Those are the two methods that they would pursue the drug war. Would that be a fair statement?
That would be a fair statement, except that I would have to modify about the vigilante killings. Now, because the killings of many were committed by DDS members. Meron din nga po silang mga may riding in tandem, meron din silang mga pattern, the use of the, what was the knife? Butcher knife. Inamin po yun ni Matubato na meron silang ganon, ginagamit yun in some killings. So pagdating sa other killings outside of so-called police operations ay the vigilante killings, but some would be unknown, and then the others are actually members of the DDS. It's still the death squad.
I understand. So they both lead to that squad. Just would depend on if it would be a legitimate, at least on the surface, a police operation or vigilante killings committed by the
Iba-iba po.
DDS. Opo.
Iba-iba po. Okay, yes, may police operations, pero meron ibang killings na talagang outright targeting for assassination.
But still the DDS po sila.
Still the DDS.
Madam Senator, were you familiar with any other method, yung so-called abduction order? Is this something that has appeared in the Las Cañas affidavit?
Yes. A couple, I think, of incidents about abduction first, and then killing.
Are you aware of the origins of the abduction order? Was it
No, Your
instructed by any personalities?
I know, Your Honor, abduction, but among the incidents, the operations, which I showed earlier, meron din pong abduction. As I said, abduction muna, then killing.
Did they appear after a certain year, or has this been a method employed as far back as you could see?
I would not be able to answer that. I don't have information on that.
Okay. Thank you very much, Senator de Lima.
You're
So yun lang po. Going back to the questions earlier kay Mr. Benaventura, yun lang po, balikan na lang po natin siguro yung nabanggit po na tinuturo po kayo ni sa investigation po ng CHR, ng 3 witnesses possibly, tinuturo po kayo ni Mr. Las Cañas, tinuturo po kayo ni Ms. Garma. Ano po kayo yung reason nito? Mukhang not naman coordinate, pero they corroborate with each other na multiple times daw po nababanggit ang pangalan po ninyo. Not only as a member of the DDS, but a ranking member, head of finance and logistics pa nga raw po by some documents. Ano po yung masasabi po ninyo dito, Mr. Benaventura?
Yung ipinakita ni Ma'am De Lima, Your Honor, last hearing, nakalagay doon, Superman. Next is Colonel Makasait, Bongo, ako. Nandyan si Colonel Makasait, Your Honor. Hindi pwedeng, under sila ni Colonel Makasait, under sila. Doon sila magsunod sa kung anong instruction sa trabaho nila, doon sila. Hindi yan maniwala sa akin, Your Honor. SPO4 lang ako. Si Colonel Makasait.
Pero yung nabanggit po nila earlier, na actually, my first time to hear it, yung binanggit mo ni Chairman Acop na it seems to be a practice sa uniformed personnel na despite the rank, dahil kayo po yung close-in ng mayor, pakikinggan po daw kayo. And you agree?
Hindi naman sa ganun, Your Honor, na sa trabaho nila, siyempre may sinusunod sila. Pero yung ako ang sa logistic, ako sa... Hindi totoo, Your Honor.
Sige po. I guess we'll have just further questions at another time. I will yield to to our colleagues who might still have questions. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Salamat po.
Thank you, Congressman Gutierrez.